It is a Tuesday. We've got a warm day today. It'll be the warmest day of the week. Hope you're having a good week thus far. Temperatures the rest of the week will start to cool starting tomorrow. This is the park fire. I got the last, how long is this? 6 hours? Yeah, I got the last 6 hours up. So this is from Colby Mountain. Park fire is still big. I wanted to show you how in the morning, see how this fire settles down. It kind of crushes the fire. They're able to gain a lot of ground on it. But as the day goes on, as it is this afternoon, the plume starts to rise and the fire essentially starts to breathe, especially in the late afternoon. That's why fire, you can see it lifting now. So more oxygen gets in there. One of the things you can see on this shot too is you can see the red strips. Those are fire retardant flights coming in on that ridge line, and they're really going after it. It's over 400 acres, big fire. The smoke is going towards the northeast. Our air quality is fine, but it's a huge fire. And I guess this picture sort of denotes the remoteness of this area. There's not a lot there, which is very fortunate. So I would say, I mean, I keep saying this. I know it. I feel for the people who are losing property, but in terms of forest management, this area hasn't burned in my memory. There's been small fires in here, and I grew up in Paradise, so it's just I could see this fire almost from my house. You could see the smoke plume anyway when I was a kid. So I grew up in this wilderness. That area hasn't burned. And so now you're burning that area and you're creating more of a groomed, curated forest, which is overall the healthiest thing you can do. And so my friends in Paradise, my friends in Cohasset, if you, hopefully your stuff is okay. Forest Ranch, hopefully you're okay. Up in the hills, up at Philbrook, this is future insurance against the big fire, because this is the big fire. And so I know it sounds cold, but you know it too. I mean, you've got to clean these areas out, and when you don't, look at this area. It hasn't burned. I mean, there's been small fires, but I can't remember a big fire in that zone at all. So anyway, that's the fire thing. 400,000 acres. Air quality is pretty good for us. They are getting a handle on it. It's going to get hot today. That's going to drop the humidities, obviously. Not a lot of wind, but the heat will drive that fire in the terrain, as you could see. But they're working that ridge line, which is always a good sign. And then this orange area here, I wanted to point out, this is the heat advisory, and that picks up San Jose. But the rest of us are out of it. That is for today. The fire smoke, you can see it here. And fortunately for us, that's the park fire. And you can see which way the smoke is blowing. That is generally the prevailing wind direction, which is sort of, in this case, it's blowing sort of a southwesterly direction at the upper elevations. And then along the coast, we've got the fog. And that's our sea breeze. And that's why San Francisco today, Oakland today, Richmond today, areas right around the bay, San Mateo, Brisbane, you're going to be manageable in terms of heat. Everybody's pretty manageable. Even San Jose, who's under heat advisory, you're going to go 90 degrees today, maybe 91. It's hot, I know, but it's not multiple days of that. Tomorrow, San Jose goes down into the mid-80s. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. So we'll keep an eye on it, but it's a one-and-done heat event. We can look at, we can just look at all the temperatures, which I always enjoy doing. As you know, this is the current page, the currents map. It updates every hour. It's linked to this YouTube site, and you can go create your own weather world. I mean, it's like Chico's at 84 degrees right now. Let me put in some, I think you kind of get this, right? So there's some wind. This is looks like it's up by Point Arena. That's 56 degrees. The gusts are to 27 miles an hour. It's gusting to 20 miles an hour. That's two flags at the end are 10 miles an hour each. And the direction is that. So this is a wind direction, same direction, 50 degrees, gusting to 11, and you can see sustained winds at 5 knots because it's a little tag at the end. So it's a really awesome sight. So let's go up to the fire zone. Let's see, there's Chico. We can come up in here, and you can see 89 degrees. Wind gusts to 11. It just has a variable wind in there. Most of the winds up in that zone, in the fire zone, are coming from the southwest aloft, and the surface winds are probably more westerly. This is the forecast for the rest of the day today, and we are here, right here, and you'll see the day heat up. And you'll see as the day maxes out right here, we have that little notch. That little notch is the sea breeze. That little notch being this right here. I know you can see it, but right here. So that's us. That's the Bay Area, essentially all 9 Bay Area counties except the far inland reaches like Fairfield and Vacaville. So as we go, that's today. Then we go to tomorrow afternoon, and that notch seems to get a little bigger. It's still hot in the Central Valley, but our cooling is right there. And then we do it again on Thursday, right there. And you can see that notch gets bigger. So what that, it's oversimplification, but that is the reason we're going to stay manageably mild. Sacramento, Red Bluff, Fresno, Bakersfield, Visalia, those areas are all going to be in the low 100s. And they're going to be in the low 100s. Let's move it right through. Click, click. Every time you see that's a day, that's a day. It's just day after day of big heat in the Central Valley. No massive cooling. Let's see how it goes here. I'm all the way down here to like next weekend. It starts to cool a little bit. That's nice. Let's see when that is. That is Thursday, August 15th. So that's a ways off. But it looks like there's going to be some cooling at that point. But that in the long range models, right? You can't put too much into them. At the beach, it's nice and breezy and cool. Winds are kind of southwest at 4. Swell is west at 3 to 4. Tide is increasing. And this is why the Bay Area, that notch I showed you, and then the coast and the fog, this climate is money. That's why people settled here, right? Because especially back in the old days, it's pretty hot in the Sacramento Valley year round, especially before air conditioning. But the Bay Area's natural air conditioning, and we have it. This is the inversion. This is the profiler. And you can see the inversion right now is down to, well, it's even lower now. It's probably down to about 1,000 feet right in there. I drew a bad picture. And you can see yesterday, it was here, and it was up to about 1,500 feet. So that it goes, the way this works is this is yesterday over here. See how deep it is? That blue represents it. And you can see it slowly, the inversion compressing down to about here, and that is essentially today. Again, roughing it out, I'm using the orange colors, the yellows, those are warmer temperatures. Underneath is colder. Cold air is stable. So that's why you call it inversions are stable, because the cold air isn't going to rise through the warm air. It's too cold. It sits down. But if you put warm air under cold air, if you flip this, it's extremely unstable because the warm air wants to rise in the relatively cooler air. So that's for another day. Okay, the 5-day forecast. Let's make that go away. Okay, the 5-day forecast. Temperatures are going to trend down. Starts tomorrow. That 98's a little hot for tomorrow. I think it'd be 95 in the warm spots in the Bay Area, but a nice week ahead after today. And today's still kind of nice. Okay, keep an eye on the park fire for you. I'll see you back here.